Okay, I guess we're gonna do the cut soon. Okay. Hey everybody. So Lewis kept screwing up today, so I am here to try and make things right. So no, what you were saying was about the contractors.
You're fired.
And what? No.
You're
no,
fired.
No.
You're fired.
No. Schematics and things like that. And like, look at. Oh.
You're fired.
How am I fired?
Hey everybody, how's it going? I was just at the start recording button, and the moment I did, a kitty jumped on my chair. I'm not sure if you can see her. This is little Blackberry over here. She wants to be on camera. She wants attention to be paid to her. So today what I want to do is follow up on that video regarding the Apple subcontractor Wistron that had their factory destroyed by their employees as a result of not paying them properly. So recently I was covering this piece of news where Wistron is a subcontractor. They have factories where they produce phones like the iPhone 12. Absolutely had their premises destroyed. Some people estimate it was around 7 million in damage. I've seen other articles say 60 million in damage. You see the employees walking around beating things with what looks like a bat and just all out destroying their employer's space. Now, when you read in to try and figure out why they're so mad, you see that they took what were already garbage wages and they cut them in half after they had already agreed to them and started doing the job. They just cut their pay by about 50%. Then after that, of that 50%, some of them were getting less than 10% of that 50%. Some were receiving as little as 500 rupees in their bank account after several months. I will leave it to you to Google and convert that from rupees to US dollars so that you can have a better understanding when you see the number that shows up on your screen, why these people were destroying their employer's place of business and belongings. That being said, there's a point that I left out of that video that several of you have been leaving in my comment section and on Discord that I believe deserves its own video. I should have included this in the first video. I apologize for not including it, and I'm also sorry that I forgot the usernames of the several people that commented this. I'll often remember the ID and forget the username. Several of you brought this to my attention, and I genuinely appreciate it, even if I forget who you are. You know, these are I get names wrong from time to time. It's one of the reasons that Oreo is not able to make eye contact with me for the entire video. He is going to sit there and he is going to look in the opposite direction because earlier today I accidentally called him Clinton. Now, one of the things that keeps being brought up is that, Lewis, you can't blame Apple. This is a subcontractor. You don't understand. You can't know everything that your subcontractors are doing. Even if you're a $2 trillion company, even if you've been accused of hiring subcontractors that abuse human rights many times over the past 9 years, even if you're known as the company that hires the subcontractor, the factory where there's suicide nets outside, there's no fault to be held by Apple because they can't audit everything the subcontractor is doing. They're not going to all their subcontractors' facilities to ensure that everything is being done a certain way. They're not that type of company. And one of the things that you guys did is you pointed out my own video from 1.5 years ago where I read this one in the Informationcom article. I'll link to it down below for those of you who are such fans you want to spend $40 so that you could read the article that I'm citing here. Some of it is included in this video. This video is secret tunnels and crawl spaces found in factories producing Apple products. Now, to be clear, I am not pro-theft. I would much prefer a business model in this industry where when I need a part, I can be 110% sure that that part was delivered to me with the blessing of everybody in that supply chain. I would much rather just be able to, instead of go to Venafix or whatever for a schematic, be able to do what they do in the car or auto industry where they have a scan tool or whatever, they pay $5,000 or $10,000 a year to update all their stuff regularly so they can always work on the new models. It's a cost of doing business. Everybody gets what they want. That unfortunately doesn't exist for this industry. Now, one of the things that I remember bringing up in this video is that there will be these donor boards that are thrown away, often because they were defects in the production line. And what Apple will do is, even if it's absolute utter garbage that's going to be shredded, that cannot actually go somewhere where it will be useful. It must be completely and utterly destroyed. So what people wind up doing is they try to get these boards out when they are the waste pile. You'll tell it's the waste pile because it'll have holes through them everywhere and cracks, and you can usually tell which area is reusable, which not. They used to be able to send me a actual donor board, which would be the full piece. And what I point out in this video is now they no longer do that. They can only send me the wing or the breast or the leg because they can only fit certain pieces out at a time, because Apple has been auditing the facilities and changing the way that they do business. Now, one thing I really think is worth bringing attention to is just the amount of work Apple puts in to ensure that a schematic is not leaked or a part is not leaked that may allow someone to actually learn how to fix their products. So there's one here where that says, leaks can come from Apple's packaging and printing contractors. One worker snuck a smartphone into a printing factory and was able to take photos of an instruction manual for the iPhone X before it's released. Apple quickly revised its policies to begin auditing these types of contractors many more months in advance. We're not even talking about them stealing products. Someone took a picture of an instruction manual and they started auditing the process to ensure that instruction manuals would not be leaked, not even schematics, not even the board view that tells people like me where stuff is located on the board so we can fix it. The instruction manual, the take it out of the box, here's how you plug it in, here's the warranty information and disclaimers where you tell you not to chew it, not to put it up your asshole, the manual, the thing that no one reads. Someone took a picture of that, and because of that, they went through this level of auditing. When you go further down in the article, it says in one instance, before the iPhone X was released, a business that teaches technicians how to repair Apple devices had access to leaked glass screens for the new phone and began holding classes on repairing the screens. Apple secretly enrolled a contractor in the class to trace the source of the leaks. So they will go full private investigator, full undercover if a screen leaks. But people don't get paid for 3 to 6 months, and everybody just turns a blind eye. In recent years, a new security threat has emerged: electronic leaks. Most leaks of the next iPhone, for example, have been in the form of schematics, which revealed it will have the 3 rear-mounted cameras, but little else in terms of design changes. Apple has shifted more resources to stopping these electronic leaks. These efforts have mostly been handled by a separate group managed out of Apple's headquarters in Cupertino, California. So they will have people on staff at their headquarters to make sure that a picture of the device doesn't leak. This is more important to Apple than whether or not the people that are actually producing the device get paid over the course of 3 months. My personal favorite part of this article that was actually worth the $40 at the time. Apple once caught factory workers digging a small tunnel in a corner of a room behind a large piece of machinery, hoping to use it to ferry parts to the outside world, stolen parts of the outside world. People were chipping away little by little at the wall, Shawshank Redemption style, people said. Even in the movie Shawshank Redemption, even in the actual movie with prison guards, it took them 20 years to figure out that Andy was chipping away at the wall with his rock hammer. But in the Apple factory, they figured it out in less than a year. Yet, we're to believe that with their auditing and their surveillance and their intelligence apparatus, when it comes to making sure they surveil every single aspect of what's going on at their factory, that they had no idea that people were not being paid for 3 to 6 months. Fuck out of here. Just fuck out of here. Just no. I don't accept it. I refuse to accept it. And even if that is the case, I refuse to accept the fact that you can put all of this money, all of this manpower, all of this effort into ensuring a picture of the back of your phone doesn't get released on the internet. But you can't put in even this tiny bit of effort to figure out whether or not the employees are getting paid. Just by accident, I would expect this to come out. Hell, if the person there that's finding the hole in the wall as he's finding the hole in the wall, surely while he's on the trip there, while he's knocking on every section in the wall, oh, this section seems hollow. There's people in that tunnel. One of the people in that tunnel would say, oh yeah, shit, the jig's up. Sorry you found me. Hey, by the way, can I get my paycheck? You figure that even one of these auditors, just by virtue of the fact that they're even there, would have some semblance, some idea that people are not getting paid. Here's the way this works, and this is what I mentioned in my last video. Many businesses like to turn a blind eye to when they're making more money than they thought they would make out of a particular deal, or when they're kind of surprised that they're getting more work than they thought they were getting for a particular price. You can either dig and ask questions, or you can say, it's going my way. Why spoil a good thing? And what bothers me so much here is not so much the people letting them off the hook. Is not so much this concept of fighting over whether it's slavery or wage theft, as if that's a detail that matters when you have people getting less than $7 a month. It's not when people start saying, oh, that was just a communist instigator, you can ignore the fact that all of these people were not getting paid for their work. It's not even the fact that they were not auditing the facility. It's that they audit their facilities on a regular basis. Because God forbid anybody actually get out of that fucking facility with an ISO 9240 so that your device could charge. God forbid someone leave that facility with a schematic so someone can fix your MacBook when you spill something on it. We can't let that happen. But, oh, someone's not getting paid for 3 to 6 months? Oh, I didn't hear anything. Yeah, no, they were. I think you should check up on them. You know, again, this is not my job. I was just checking the facility to make sure nobody was trying to fucking dig their way to Australia and smuggle the parts out of there. But I heard someone talk about not getting paid. Listen, you heard them talk about it, but you're not really sure. Are you sure it happened? No, but I think you should look at. Shut up! I don't understand how people can defend this. I really don't. When going over this issue, I think it's really important to understand where priorities lie. You know, there are people that have said that budgets do have to do with ethics because where you allocate money, it shows what you prioritize, it shows what matters to you. And when you see the amount of effort that goes into ensuring that you can fix the device you own, and then you see the amount of money and effort that goes into ensuring that the device that you own is not put together with blood money, I'm just going to end it because I'm just kind of angry at this point.
Hey you guys, I just wanted to add to Lewis's video. He's been giving Apple a lot of crap saying, why did Apple allow this to happen, or how was this possible? Well, there's a very simple reason and explanation for that. It's because Apple was too concerned with tying up loose supply lines, or making sure that things weren't getting leaked out, schematics weren't getting disappearing off into the hands of third-party repair, that they didn't really focus on this kind of stuff. And you think about it, right? If they're working with a contractor, they're placing their trust in that contractor to make sure that the employees are paid. Apple has bigger things to focus on than a random person who's working in this factory making sure that they're getting their weekly pay, right? They're probably thinking to themselves, okay, supplier, you promise, we'll have you sign this contract of sorts, promising that you won't bring bad PR to Apple, promising that you will pay your employees, and if you sign it, well, that's it. We're going to place all that trust in you. If you screw up, we will think about terminating that relationship, that business relationship. And that's exactly what happened. So Apple, after the news leaked out, what happened with this factory, they said that they put their relationship with this factory on hold. They are not going to reinstate things until they fix what was wrong, and they're going to add more standards on here, add more enforcement. I think this is actually a great thing that happened, because right now you're seeing what happened with one supplier. I'm sure that there were other places, other contractors that has the same kind of situation where the employees are not getting paid, right? A very small percentage. It probably happens because Apple probably deals with so many different people that they cannot, micromanage their contractors and then look through each contractor to make sure that they're paying their employees. That is the contractor's job to do. That's what they're offshoring, this kind of stuff. So what this is doing is this is setting a precedence with other Apple contractors, and Apple is going to make it clear, like, hey, if you do this kind of stuff, this might cost you possibly millions of dollars in the future, and you might get blacklisted, right? If there's a factory out there that has a big name and let's say other tech companies are using that factory, are they really going to want to work with that factory because of they're not paying their employees? It's very short-sighted. It can sever business relationships. I'm sure there's not too many factories out there that have certain capabilities to produce Apple products. I'm just saying. So that's all I wanted to add to this video. It is imperfect. I just had this on basically 2 takes, 1 or 2 takes. But yeah, I don't think that Apple is completely at fault. Well, they're not completely
You're
at fault.
fired again.
They put their trust into a contractor, and if the contractor, they even said explicitly in their little contractor agreement, like they have to abide by certain standards, and if they didn't do that, then that is the contractor's fault.
Out of here, Mac fangirl.
I'm just saying.
Fangirl.
But with the heat that's being placed on Apple and that factory, things are going to change for the better. And you're not going to have people who are just so, or contractors who think like Apple will not find out. Because if the employees decide to revolt, Apple will find out and they will do the appropriate action. That's all.
You know I can edit that so when you say Apple is not completely at fault, it'll just sound like you said.
I think Apple is completely at fault. Whatever.
He who controls Da Vinci controls what you say.
Whatever.
Fired again.
Fired again. I'm just